Keep it high, keep it tight. It's Jay Morse of got back to bring you another 5-minute review. In this one, we are going to be doing the first album on our Fan Appreciation Week spree, where you guys will suggest albums for the next 7 reviews, and that's the ones I will do. Excuse me. So, today we are going to be doing Director by Freshy Kanal or My Friend Dustins. So if you don't know who he is a rapper that leans more towards a kind of aggressive hip-hop type of style for his rapping, with themes that really hold a lot of emotional value and a lot of personal struggle. Now, as someone who writes stories and as someone who writes music, including rap, it's something that no one that's on the outside can really understand when it comes to the importance of certain tracks. This is a 15-track album with one bonus track, and I do feel like it's a very good album, and one thing I can compliment is his rapping. Dustin's rapping on this album is just breathtaking at times. Like, he probably took a long time recording this, because the rapping from song to song and the way he will sometimes break into almost this kind of singing type stuff, or this monotone dread type of sounding voice, it really complements whatever he's trying to convey with the lyrics, and he really knows how to combine lyricism with a proper execution and delivery that really uplifts whatever track he's trying to put forth. And with that said, I think that the lyricism is very great on this album. You can tell that a lot of stuff, a lot of things went into the mixing pot for this album, and were stirred around to kind of bring up to the surface this album that really entails a lot of, it has a lot of breath and personality to it. It breathes on its own. And unlike a lot of people, Crown Me is not my favorite song on the album. OCD is, which I just really like OCD. This album has quite a few guest stars on it. It has people like Justin Buckner, people like Leonaire, people like Vinny O. That's who I'm thinking of off the top of my head, Matt Forio. And the only thing that I can... Well, I'll actually say this. I'll say the thing that I can compliment the most and the thing I can compliment the least. The thing I can say the most about this album, besides lyricism alone, is Dustin's rapping is phenomenal on this disc, and not even just the rapping, just all the passages where he does just these different types of vocal techniques. They really come through in a big way and make this type of atmosphere to each track that really makes them stand on their own. And his vocals alone, even if the lyricism was bad, I think could carry an album. So that's great, but combined with great lyricism, it really uplifts the album to a height that is kind of hard to reach for a lot of people. And it's something that a lot of rap music doesn't really know how to do nowadays, is very good lyrics. He reminds me a lot of the conscious hip-hop artists that you are seeing nowadays. XXXTentacion, Logic, NF, and it's a great album. But the one thing that I can say that's maybe a little distracting is, well, actually, the one little minor thing is sometimes the mixing can be a little off, but that's something I can look past. As for the thing that I could probably critique is, I feel like there's maybe a couple too many tracks. And the thing about that, and the reason I'm kind of on the fence about even saying that, is as someone who's made a lot of music, sometimes the songs that people don't think have any purpose are the ones that might mean the most to you. And for the most part, artists are not going to put songs on an album that don't mean something to them, or that wasn't creative enough to them and maybe meant enough to them to want to not include it on the album or include it on the album. And like Money, Lies, and Cartoon World kind of pop out to me. Some of the lyricism is a little strange in that, and Justin's vocals are a little bit, the mixing's a little strange, but that's a minor gripe. It's still a great album and definitely worth your listen. And I'm going to link in the description below Freshy Kanal's SoundCloud, where you can scroll down and find all of these songs, or listen to the whole album and support him. Give him some plays, give him some shares, some comments on it, and I'm sure he'd appreciate it a lot. It's a great album, and considering that this is just someone that's just recording by himself, having some help mixing stuff, some of these tracks lyrically and the way it sounds, it could be mistaken personally as something that has been professionally recorded in like a studio and mixed that way. But that makes it even the more impressive. So I'll see you guys on the next episode of Fan Appreciation Week. Thanks a ton for submitting this. This was submitted by Freshy Kanal himself, Dustin. Thanks a ton for suggesting this. I'll talk to you guys later. This is Jay Morse Review, guys, signing off, saying farewell.